ready for this right here?
Of course you are. That's why you're watching the next episode of 1,000 Ways to Die. Here, you'll meet the lawyer who winds up taking the fall. The Texan whose hot wife gives him the hives. The sword swallower who bites off more than he can chew. A sexaholic who goes organic. Some crazy co-eds who think life's a gas.
This is so cool!
And a wood chipper with a manly appetite. Life's good on 1,000 Ways to Die. Warning. The deaths portrayed in this show are based on real events. Names are being changed to protect the identities of the deceased. Some of the dead were unlucky. Many were bored. Most were incredibly stupid. Do not attempt to try any of the actions depicted. You will die. Death is everywhere. Most of us try to avoid it. Others can't get out of its way. Every day we fight a new war against germs, toxins, injury, illness, and catastrophe. There's a lot of ways to end up dead. The fact that we survive at all is a miracle. Because every day we live, we face 1,000 ways to die.
Great view, isn't it?
Ian Campbell was very impressed with his law firm's new offices. But the thing Ian was most impressed with was himself.
Did you know I have a Lamborghini?
One of his favorite pastimes was hitting on the firm's new female associates.
Places to eat. If you want to follow.
You would think a smart lawyer would know better, but Ian was a sexual harassment case in a $1,000 suit.
Partners at law firms have a lot of power and influence over the careers of brand new associates. You really need this job, and you're really at this guy's mercy.
Great view, isn't it?
Ian had a prank he liked to play to impress the ladies. In a conference room on the 40th floor, he'd get a running start and throw himself into the window. The tempered glass would always bounce him back.
Tempered glass is just unpredictable. It was developed as a safety technique so that people wouldn't get cut on it. But on sudden impact, it can just explode.
This building's amazing. Watch this.
Maybe the sleazebag lawyer just ran out of luck. Or maybe it was the way his Rolex caught the glass. Because Ian took a running start and never stopped.
Once they discovered that their imminent death is there, they most likely would have pissed on themselves.
I say.
He probably died instantaneously from the skull shattering on the ground and his brain herniating out into the street. His spine probably shattered along with his skull and severed his spinal cord, killing him.
Clearing brush in 110-degree heat.
Oh, Jesse, sure is hot.
It's a dirty job, but someone's got to do it. Tiny and Dale just wish it wasn't them. The less-than-dynamic duo get the last of the branches to the top of the hill. Just one job left. Chipping. As machines go, a wood chipper is a low-tech brute. Branches get fed in, spinning blades grind them up, and wood chips get spat out. But it's never easy with these two. The day was nearly done when the last branch got stuck. Cometh the hour, cometh the little man. Dale tries forcing the branch through with his feet. Dale finds out the hard way a machine made to destroy tree limbs can also destroy human limbs.
Unfortunately, he probably did feel everything that was going through him, starting with the toes and the foot, just chewing through the tissue, ripping muscle from bone, tearing apart the bone itself.
Dale gets turned into mincemeat. Tiny gets a bloodbath. Is there a lesson to be learned from all this carnage? Yes, there most certainly is. Don't put your feet into a wood chipper. Jason and Sarah are like any other college students. Horny. By the looks of it, Jason's barking up the right tree. But then, a vision appears. Across the campus green, something draws them like moths to a flame. A giant basketball. A leftover from yesterday's sports parade. The perfect place for a once-in-a-lifetime quickie. I think he will, love.
Where is it?
Sarah finds the way in and pulls its zipper down faster than Jason's fly. A peek inside leads to a surprising discovery.
So cool!
Their party balloon is filled with helium.
Oh, yeah.
Once inside their laughing gas chamber, Sarah and Jason are feeling no pain.
We're in a giant basketball. The thing we get when we go in the operating room. So they're actually going under anesthesia, slowly getting anesthetized, shutting down brain function. At the same time, they're asphyxiating. And it's going to slowly produce a disordered neurotransmission in the brain and shut higher order centers in the brain off.
At first, it's all fun and games. But after a while, their light-headed helium buzz becomes something else. Something a lot worse.
I feel so weird.
Yeah. I think we should probably get some air really quick.
These two college kids should have hit the books a little bit harder. A helium-only environment might be fun to play in. You just can't live in it. Jason and Sarah spend their last moments disorientated, unable to find the magic zipper.
Keep looking.
Finally succumbing to the lack of oxygen. Once they locked themselves inside their funhouse, it was only a matter of time before their fun turned to none. Like most guys from Texas, JT would rather be out drinking with his buddies than doing yard work. But he was no match for his smoking hot wife, Trixie.
Oh, I gotta go. Oh, Trixie, ma'am. Just taking a little water break here's all.
Did you like what you had last night?
Hell yeah, I do.
Are you horny for this right here?
Yeah, baby, I'm horny for some of that.
All right, well, put your stinger away and get rid of that hornet's nest. Do it.
You're my queen.
Threatening to turn off the nookie nozzle was more than JT could bear. It was time to go to war.
I'm doing my business. Come on. Come on.
There are a few hundred hornets in this nest. You have to understand that insects do an important job in nature, whether they're harmful to us because we make the mistake of disturbing their nest or being in a place that they want to be.
Come on.
JT was striking out with the Hornets, but this was Texas. And when all else fails, hit the gun rack. Being more of a suburban cowboy, JT came back out clutching his weapon of choice, a paintball gun.
You think you can come between me and the sanctimony of humping my wife? Well, eat paint, buggo! Yeah! Oh yeah! Who's the man? Who's the...
JT should have fought first and shot later. When threatened, hornets mobilize their entire nest to sting in defense. The first hornet in sprays him with an alarm pheromone. The other hornets use the scent of the pheromone to zero in on their target. JT didn't know a lot about anything, including himself. For example, he had no idea he was allergic to bee venom. He had a severe reaction called anaphylaxis and collapsed, covered with welts from hundreds of hornet stings. What this means is his blood vessels dilated, causing a drop in blood pressure. The airway to his throat and lungs became swollen, making breathing impossible. He quickly went into shock and never recovered. JT died a noble gunman, fighting for the booty rights to his Texas maiden. Happy trails, cowboy. Coming up, a circus freak lives by the sword and dies by the umbrella. And a nymphomaniac finally meets her match. What's up, Doc?
Come on inside. You're going to see a show that you've never seen before. Come on inside.
Boris was a desperate man. The recent economic downturn has made life hard.
This is real and real dangerous, folks. So please don't try this at home.
Especially for a 7-foot sword swallower. He used to pack them in. Now he was lucky to get a busload of blue rinses on their way to Atlantic City.
The key to pulling off a successful trick is getting the audience emotionally invested. If the audience doesn't like you and they're not emotionally invested in you, when you do this trick, they're going to be watching it kind of like an ancient Roman audience would watch a gladiator. You know, they're watching it, let's see if he gets hurt. And that's not a good place to be.
That's right. 2 blades at one time.
Being a circus freak, Boris was willing to do anything to stay afloat.
That's right.
If one sword didn't wow them, how about 2?
This is extremely dangerous because at any moment the swords could scissor, causing internal bleeding.
And if that didn't do the trick, he'd take challenges from the audience. This day, some cranky old pensioner handed him his umbrella.
Hey, big guy, huh? How about my umbrella, huh? Come on, let's see, baby.
Desperate times called for desperate measures. In a dramatic flourish, Boris hoisted the umbrella over his head and proceeded to jam it down his throat. It was a frightening and disgusting display, but the audience couldn't turn away. Boris might have got away with nothing more than a sore throat, but his giant epiglottis hit the release mechanism and the umbrella opened up, closing down his windpipe and sealing the deal on Boris.
Just about the stupidest thing I could ever think of swallowing would be an umbrella. I've never done it and I never will. It could open up, and if that happens, A, it's going to get lodged in so you're not going to be able to get it out. And in doing so, you're going to be ripping the hell out of your esophagus. And also, your trachea is going to be blocked, and your windpipe, and you won't be able to breathe. So you're screwed.
He lived by the sword. He died by the... You got it. Umbrella. Oh dear. Some people just seem to ooze sexuality. Take Jennifer here. She can turn a trip to the supermarket into a lap dance of longing and lust. Not only is she sexy, she loves sex. Loves having it. Loves thinking about it. Right now, she's thinking about the hunk over there, moistening his cucumbers. But she's got a date with some girlfriends in from out of town. Unlucky, cucumber boy. You have no idea what you're missing. Back home, Jennifer unpacks her shopping. But all she can think about is release. She just can't forget the vision of the stud boy shelf stacker oozing down the produce. It was time to go organic.
Masturbation is an absolutely amazing thing. I think it's important for everyone to masturbate. It's such a great stress relief. It helps relieve the tension through your body. And let's face it, if you can't make yourself orgasm all alone, then sex just isn't the same.
Jennifer could have done a better job peeling her carrot. A rough edge sliced through her vaginal wall and sent an air embolism racing up to her heart. I'm afraid there will be no happy ending to this vegetable-based wanking story. If in doubt, leave it out.
Stranger things have happened. She tore part of her either vaginal wall or some part of her pelvic area. Air somehow got in during the masturbation process into the arteries, and the air then went up to the heart and caused death.
El Mirage Lakebed, San Bernardino, California. A legendary meeting place for any petrol heads, adrenaline junkies, or racing fans looking to push the speed envelope as fast as they dare. In this macho world, there's no bigger name than Ron Cook. A 12-time land speed record holder. Ron's looking for lucky 13. His goal, 200 miles per hour or better. To help him get there, he's equipped his bike with nitrous. Ron wants one simple thing, to be the fastest in the world. In less than 7 seconds, he's already at 150 miles per hour. His record in reach, Ron hits the nitrous.
Rider down, everybody move!
It's the worst-case scenario. Hitting the rock-hard desert floor at 200 miles per hour is the equivalent of taking a 1,200-pound blow straight to the head. Ron's a dead man, right? Think again.
It's great to be alive, but at the same time, you're thinking, oh boy, you know, am I gonna have an arm? Am I gonna have a leg? I didn't know.
Ron's injuries were extensive, the pain severe.
I ended up having 5 broken bones in my right leg, 4 bones broken in my right arm, and I had a lot of bruises, cuts, but also had a lot of 3rd and 4th degree burns. It's a wonder that I didn't die in that crash. I should have been dead.
Ron never got the record he set out for, but he didn't walk away empty-handed.
The record I was trying to get was the over 200 mile an hour record, but I didn't get that one. The record I ended up getting by default was the Guinness record for surviving the world's fastest motorcycle crash at 200 miles an hour.
Well done.
Saturday night at 10 here on Bravo. All new 2010 grudges are born in the hexagonal ring with the evening on the ropes. TNA Impact after the adverts tonight, though. Good old electricity. 1,000 Ways to Die.
It's original.